What's up, YouTube? Welcome, one and everyone, to part 6 of Dragon Age Origins Awakening with a Therapist. We have sufficiently solved the pentagram puzzle. If you made it all the way through part 5 and watched me fight that out, gold star to you. If you skipped it, totally understand. But welcome back. Good to have you here. Leave a like on the stream. Leave a comment if there's something you want to say to me about the playthrough. I appreciate reading all the comments. I don't respond to all of them, but I do read all of them. And I'm grateful for the engagement. Tell people about the stream. Check out all the links down in the description. Would love to have you join us sometime on Twitch. Usually I'm live at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. As you can see, there's sunlight behind me, so I'm doing another stream during the day right now. Sometimes we get those in. Regardless, would love to have you come hang out with us. Or pop into the Discord and say hello. Can I warn you about a major bug that could mess up your game? Sure. As long as you don't spoil any story beats. Otherwise, I'm willing... If you can't do it without spoiling, then I'm willing to take the risk. All right, the Wending Wood. All right, we got all 9 silks. The tunnel has a bug that will delete your equipped armor. Is it 100% going to happen? 8 out of 8 inscriptions. We need one more wood sample and return to Mervis. Equip a set you don't care about before you go in. It's like 98%. Holy shit, does it do it to my companions too? It happens every time. Just you. Okay. Well, that is a worthy spoiler. How about I throw on Skins of the Keeper? Oh yeah. Oh baby. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. Come on. Feel that cool brass ring against my strong pectorals. Corset, boobies out for the darkspawn. I'm ready, baby. I could be your chilling around the castle armor. You ain't wrong. Hope, thanks so much for the 3 months. Appreciate it. We can use wishful identification. Yeah, man. I wish I could pull off a dress like this. You kidding me? Not that I comply to gender norms. It's that I just can't pull the dress off. This has got to be the tree, right? Yeah. All right. Judgment. I'm gonna need you to take care of this, big guy, because I'm not strong enough right now. I'm just gonna sit here and distract him with my dress. Okay, never mind. It's over. Dunzo. Okay, we got it done. I knew there was another tree around here somewhere. Okay. Let's go. We've done what we needed to do. Into the mines. So am I going to be naked when we walk in here? Should I just get down to my skinnies? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In the buff. Let's go. All right, am I good to put it back on, or is this like when can I put it back on? It deleted your underwear, yeah. Nope, I still got the Frank and the beans. We're good. Look at that ass. I've been working on it. I've been running all over Ferelden over the last 5 episodes. There's a cutscene really soon, and that deletes it. All right, we're gonna stay naked then until the cutscene. Hello there. No. Well, okay. Bummer, bro. Good thing I had my comfies on.
Commander of the Grey Wardens, do not be frightened. Your injuries have been tended to. I apologize for what I must do. I do not wish to be your enemy. But now is not the time for this. Rest.
You could at least read me a story. Oh, he gave me clothes.
Serani! Oh, creators, what have they done to you?
They haven't done anything. I'm fine, Villana. It's not me he wants. I have to get you out before something bad happens. I don't want anyone else to be hurt.
Yes, all right. Let me out and I'll take you home.
The Darkspawn have your things. You can still get it all back if you're careful and clever. They're going to come back to check on you. You have to hurry.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know anything. But take this key. It opens a chest in the emissary's room. Maybe you'll find some answers there.
How did you get this?
I found it. They're coming. You have to go. Find a way out of the mines. Please.
I can't just leave you. Serani, wait!
Why is Villana like dripping in stone? Okay. Yeah, I would think I could maybe just shimmy through these bars here, but... Alright, Justice, Nathaniel, and Villana. Let's get crafty and swifty. Apparently, I can just open my door. And they put weak-ass guards in here that we can just... Yeah, let's go. Prison brawl time, baby. Let's go. Damn, Justice throwing the punches. Nothing in here. Dwarf corpse, novice barrier rune. Meh. Crazy ass door here. Oh! Okay. Can't do that. This music sounds like the music in the Citadel in Mass Effect 1. Nathaniel. Large darkspawn shield. Books. Phylacteries, a history written in blood. Maybe not. Journal page. The Architect's Journal. The Seeker collected 2 elves, male and female. The rest died defending their camp. Unfortunate, but a small price to pay. The male has since dashed his head on the wall. Odd. Don't all living beings strive for survival? The Seeker confessed that he did more than simply collect the elves. He found the elves and humans at odds, then exacerbated the conflict by making the humans look responsible for the 2 elves' disappearances. He said he wanted to see how the elf leader would react. Odd again. Female elf has developed a bond of sorts with her guard. Many of the other disciples seem drawn to her as well. The seeker says her name is Sarani. Perhaps I should speak to her. Maybe she will understand. All right, so we're seeing some of the advanced thought processes. Experiment notes. These are scribbled on loose sheets of paper, barely decipherable. What happens if the old gods perish? Does the song die with them? The blood is the key. The blood is always the key. The female elf is accommodating, allowing me to take her blood for my work. Perhaps she thinks I'll release her if she cooperates. My disciples report that another elf is rampaging through the woods, killing humans. Revenge for what we did to her kind, only she hasn't seen through the Seeker's ruse. We'll keep this from Sarani. If she is upset, she may stop cooperating. Perhaps I should have killed it while it slept. Oh, that must be the fancy dudeski's writings. Experiment control, experiment control. Oh boy. Do I dare give it a shot? Do I pull the lever? Wrong. Whoa. There's a chest down there. Trying to figure out what this does. Holy shit. I did it, chat. Totally 100% knew exactly what I was doing there. I solved that pentagram puzzle last stream, and that made it so that I could just easily solve any of the other puzzles that I wanted to. Look at all these people who tried before me. Should have solved the pentagram puzzle. Dragon Spite. Black Blade Tunic. Ruby and 12 gold. Hell yeah. Should have pulled levers at random. I know. What a knucklehead, man. Fractured stone. I don't want that shit. All right, I'm sensing darkspawn.
Action will allow us to quickly dispatch those darkspawn. Come on, we've no time to lose.
Yes, I once killed an archdemon with these. Oh, sucks to suck, fellas. All right, let's go. Go. Down we go. Let's beat him up.
Never a dull moment. Fling what you can. Let us strike and be swift.
Yeah, dude, my midichlorians are really off the damn charts.
We have done well.
Make Anakin look like an Ewok. All right, these things have heavy chainmail. We're doing fine. Darkspawn staff. Don't need it. Busted ass statue. Yeah, I did that shit. Oh boy. Howdy. Dude, I'm killing these guys faster with my fists than I was killing them with my sword. 2 episodes ago. Either these guys are like... He's just like, send your weakest darkspawn to the dungeons, my liege. This looks like a door. Silver chalice, engraved silver bowl. These are worth money, but I don't really care to carry them. Give me more lore. Give me more codex. That's what I want. Hello?
That ghoul has my things. She has it all. I'm going to get it back. Are you with me?
Hey, give her cool hat back. Hey! Hey! Yeah, there we go. Punch her in the face. And then we got dragons. I'm just gonna punch this dragon in the face. Look at this, dude. I'm the strongest man alive. I'm the absolute strongest man alive. Look at it, just punching dragons in the face. Yeah, you got nothing. You got nothing on these fists. Why do I even suit up? Art of the Forest. Oh, alright, so let's give her things back. Here you go, Valana. Good. Give these. And she is GTG. Looking good. Let's get my stuff back now. Let's go punch some more fools. Oh god, just got massively turned around. What are we doing? There's a quest in here. Who's this? Keenan!
You're the Warden Commander. I would not have expected to meet you here. Did those bastards get you too?
You know who I am?
I was to help rebuild the Ferelden Wardens, just as you were. We were at Vigil's Keep less than a week when the Darkspawn came. I think I'm the only one left. The others are dead, or worse.
Oof. We gotta get you to safety, my guy.
No, I'll not walk again. But listen, there is a Darkspawn here carrying a huge maul. He crushed my legs. He took my wedding ring. Please, Commander, slay him. Bring the ring to my wife, Nida, in Amaranthine. Tell her I died trying to make this world better.
I'd rather bring you to your wife, man.
No, I will only slow you down. Please, do this for me. It is all I ask.
And then he just dies. Just dies right there. He's like, yeah, my legs are crushed. I can't walk, but I'm dead too. All right, I'll try it. It's kind of sad I didn't commit to it before he died. So he's died not knowing whether I would promise him this, but what a shame.
And it is time that they return to their rightful owner.
I am like literally worthless in this. I just punch these guys up. Yeah. 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 Oh, what a move that was.
That went well, thankfully.
If you could actually save him, would you respect his decision to die there, or would you have saved him regardless? Well, no, I would not have saved him against his will. Like, I just wanted to suggest to him that I wasn't necessarily, that, like, I wasn't going to just leave him to die if he didn't want me to. But when he said, just do this, like, all right, fine. If you want to lay here, fine, I got shit to do. So, I would respect his wishes. But I wanted to make sure that he had the opportunity to tell me if he was indeed not okay with that. All right, Justice has got his fit. Alrighty. Love your content on TikTok. Thank you. It's one of my biggest Bioware pet peeves. They love to have NPCs just die after talking to you, even if they don't seem that bad off. I know, right? Imagine losing a fight while in a body armor and a sword to some dude with his fists. Yeah, right. Nothing tells you you're a little bitch like getting your ass kicked by fisties. And that's fine. May these darkspawn hang their heads in death and shame. Soldier corpse. Spyglass. Cool. Experimental subject. Oh, that was where I... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We doing some cloning? Masked man? Just hang people for whatever reason there. Don't really understand that choice.
The ghouls have taken our food. We have to get it back.
Says there are implications here, and I don't like them.
Let's make this quick.
Honestly, it's kind of satisfying beating the shit out of these guys with my fists. Ugh. What are you doing? Oh, this guy. Let's go punch the shit out of this guy. Man, how terrifying to be that Genlock, dude. You're like shooting arrows on a line, and they're hitting the guy that's running at you, and the guy doesn't even miss a step. He just keeps running at you. That would be El Succo. Nathaniel! Okay, silverite deposit. That'll help. Dragon's carrying a health poultice. Nice. Genlock. I'm, of course, the last person to get his armor back. You there, Herlock Dragon Tamer. We're gonna massacre these guys. Yeah. We got a full-on Drake here. Punch, punch, punch. Nice. Leveled up. Kill the Drake. What are we doing? Why are you killing the baby Drake first? Kill the mama. Oh, god damn it. Glass cannon ass. Fresh dragon egg. Delicious. Leg crusher. I love how that's what that's called. The leg crusher. Oh, you know, actually, it's wonderfully simplistic. That's literally what he did with it. So why not call it the leg crusher? If that's what you're gonna go do with it, perfect. I would like to get my armor back, please. Lyrium deposit. That's
So
a
you not
big.
only gave up on killing the Grey Warden who murdered your father, you actually joined the Order.
Are you trying to pick a fight, Velana? Baiting me like this is juvenile.
I just wanted to know how you felt.
How do you feel knowing you murdered all those people because you were too arrogant to check your facts?
Warm and fuzzy.
You're a terrible person. And your ears are clownish.
What? Who's juvenile now?
How about we knock it off? So, here's what's interesting about this. That interaction implies that Nathaniel told her his story. That Nathaniel at some point said to her, my dad was killed by this guy, and I decided to join the Grey Wardens and follow him. Which would be a ridiculously vulnerable thing for him to do, given the fact that we quite literally just met her. And so she takes a shot at him. You know, something that I really think is important for all of us to be mindful of is that you do have to pay attention to the cadence of your voice and the modulation of it and the timbre of it, the whole 9 yards. You have to pay attention to the way you deliver a message, because we read those aspects of interaction and communication sometimes even more profoundly than we read the actual words that are being spoken to us. So if she was just being curious about what that felt like, there is a way to deliver that message that is soft, warm, curious, that doesn't have an edge to it, that isn't said in a way that is conventionally seen as a person making a statement underneath the question. So while it is important for people to not just immediately assume that people are being nasty, you do also have to be accountable for how you deliver a message. Because message delivery can oftentimes aid the listener in understanding what your actual intention is when you're approaching that dialogue. If she says to him, "Hey, Nathaniel, I've been thinking about that thing you told me about how you joined this group after the leader killed your father. And it's been really, I've been thinking a lot about it, and I'm really wondering, like, how does that feel?" You don't have to answer that question if you're not comfortable, but I'm really curious how that feels to be in this party, knowing that that's the case. I genuinely would like to understand that. That is a hell of a lot better. So, again, while you can certainly say things like, this is just how I deliver messages, you also can actively work to do better, because communication is a skill. It's not an inherent personality trait. You are not doomed to be a brash, single-word person. You can develop communication skills. It requires practice and feedback. And I think both of them could use it here, because then it devolves into them just attacking each other for stuff, and there's really no reason for that. We're working together right now. She asked that question with a massive edge. She was making a statement underneath that question. She wasn't... It didn't sound like curiosity to me. Now, she genuinely did mean that, and she has to recognize then the impact of her words. She has to recognize that the way he responded to that suggests that the message she sent was not delivered in the way that she intended, and she can walk it back and work with him to problem solve it. Dude, Massacre is a great move. Justice just got messed up by that.
Tunnels such as these do not collapse, do they?
I don't know, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna try not to think about it, because we're down here. Where's my stuff? I want my money, Brian. Where's my money, Brian? Some private documents. Okay. Do love stealing private documents. Darkspawn dagger, not interested. Darkspawn battle axe. Boy. 15 willpower. Let's see if that's worth it for 15 willpower. Plus 1 magic. Yeah, oh geez. 15 willpower over... Yeah. Love that. Justice, my guy. How we doing? Let's get that constitution up, eh? By the way, if you're thinking to yourself, why is this stuttering so much? It's because the game's stuttering. It's not it's not the stream. A letter from the architect. Here we go. Another one. Utha, I know this has tested your patience. You first gave your blood years ago to further our common dream. I know at times it seems we're going nowhere. Trust me, Utha, I echo your frustration. Vigil's Keep was a setback, yes, but minor. I intend to keep my promise to you. Perhaps you should venture above ground. The greenery and fresh air would do your spirit good. Go take a walk, huh? That bow he has is badass. Touch some grass, Utha. That's right. Oh, hello, sir. Don't mind if I do. Oh, look at this. I can be choosy about what I take back. I forget which sword I was using. Was I using Sarah Alvord's sword? I don't remember. Helm of the Sentinel. This is nice because I can just totally bail on some of this stuff. Had all these gifts. You like how I take all the gifts even though I never use them? It takes up like all of my inventory. La 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 la. I'm gonna sell all this shit. Alright, I'm down to leave all that shit in there. Warden's companion. Oh wait, because that's a two-hander, right? Yeah, so I can't use that. Well, I could use that, but I don't want to use that. Well, hey, good looking out, person who told me to make sure I get rid of my shit so I don't lose it. I appreciate it. Tingler. Do I go Tingler? Do I go Mark of the Divine? Earthbound Ring of Study. I'll go Tingler, I guess. Okie. Get my shield. And I meant to use this. Cool. All right.
You are not supposed to be here.
Okay. Who are you? What's that supposed to mean?
You are not one of them. You were brought here. They do not allow those they bring here to wander as they please. If they find you, they will kill you.
Okay. I think this is the same kind of guy that Sten was. I figured that. What are you doing here?
I bring them supplies. They give me gold.
Okay. How about I recruit him for Vigil's Keep? Do you know what's going on?
No. All I care is that the Darkspawn honor our arrangement. Questioning them would be inadvisable.
Okay. Will you trade your supplies at a discount?
Very well. I see that you are in a bit of trouble, and I am not heartless. But if you truly wish my help, I would suggest you escape this place as soon as you can.
Anything good? Nope. Nope. You sell garbage, sir.
You return.
Did you consent to trading at Vigil's Keep?
Vigil's Keep? That is the Grey Warden's keep near Amarantine. Yes, I know it. If there is coin to be had, Armos will be there. We will meet again, if you survive this place.
Okay.
Go then.
That was easy.
I will say nothing of you to the Darkspawn.
Remember, the thing we've learned about the Qunari is you just gotta be direct. You do not mistake their brevity for hostility. Cool. Again. Bull dragon.
That went well, thankfully.
Oh, we gotta kill both of them. Getting feared. Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting I have the bear. Summon the bear, Nathaniel. There we go. Maybe I should have just used my fists. Yeah, you like that? What, you can't handle that your boy was able to take your dragons down?
Why is she with that monster? We must get to her.
Wow, these options suck. We'll find another way, I promise. These options are terrible. We'll find another way, I promise. I can't guarantee that. Pull yourself together. You're no use to anyone like this. Your sister is a lost cause. Jesus. I mean, I guess we'll find another way. Promising that is terrible.
How? Where does this go?
When people are anxious and their emotional intensity is high, they will often assume sometimes that the people around them know more about an unknown situation than they do because the other people appear to be more calm than they are. Her asking me where this goes, I mean, we know this is a ridiculous question. How am I supposed to know? I don't know any more about this place than you do. I could be defensive and answer her that way. Like, how am I supposed to know? You know just as much as I do. What are you asking me for? But that misses the point. The point of this is that she is somebody who's been in control for quite some time and has watched her whole circle fall apart. She has a complete loss of control, and she literally just watched that person go away with the demon guy. And now there's just more uncertainty. There's more closeness to her lack of ability to influence the environment in the way that she wants to. And because I've been leading the charge throughout this, she looks to me and says, where does this go? And I can look at her in this moment as anxious rather than as dumb or as asking a question that's like intentionally stupid and somehow about me. Just say, you know what? I'm not sure where this goes. We're going to do our best to figure this out. For right now, I need you to focus on X thing. I need you to focus on the battle at hand. I need you to focus on reading the environment and looking for anything that might give us an indication that that's where we need to go. You give people very clear directives of things to look for and to do when they're panicking like that, and it can help really cut through all of it rather than personalizing this. That's essentially what she just did here. Deep into the earth, probably.
They say Wardens can sense Darkspawn even deep beneath the ground. I would join the Grey Wardens. Give me the ability to hunt down these monsters in the deep.
This is actually tricky. Because on one hand, who am I to make this decision for her? And on the other hand, I am the person to make this decision for her. She could die. And that does nobody any good right now. She doesn't know that necessarily. Right? Like, I'm glad that I could say that the joining could kill her. My sense is she might say she doesn't care. I don't know what she's going to say. I'm not even going to necessarily assume what it is. She is better alive to the group and to everybody else. She's better alive than she is dead. If she dies from the joining, it's a complete freaking waste. And honestly, your boy's only holding on to so much Darkspawn blood, so you know. I only put so much in the blender before I got here, so I can't just be giving out Darkspawn blood so people can become Grey Wardens like it's nothing. I don't know anything about her. I don't know her convictions. I want to be able to hunt the Darkspawn. You don't hear that very often. You hear people talking about wanting to fight the Darkspawn when they show themselves above the surface, not I want to go chase them farther down the tunnel. So let me try the I could just find your sister for you to deflect. Just to maybe see if she's saying this out of panic. If she doubles down and says that she wants to do it, I'm going to warn her that the joining could kill her. I could just try to find her for you, but she might not trust me to do that. I don't know. I don't know where her trust level is with me. Let's see how she responds. I can just try to find her for you.
I will not leave Serani's fate in the hands of a stranger. I must seek out these Darkspawn personally. I will pledge my service to you in exchange for the powers your order can grant. What say you?
I'm having to negotiate my frustration with the dialogue options with the moment that's at hand here. She doesn't know what she's getting into, or at least as far as I know. And I don't know if I say welcome to the Grey Wardens, if that means she's going to go through the joining, or if that means that I'm just giving her an honorary title. Okay, so here's where I'm at with this. I'm at a real crossroads right now where I have to ask myself as the Grey Warden commander, do I want to change, how drastically do I want to change the Grey Warden vibes? Because if I gatekeep her here and I say, no, I don't trust your intentions, what that's saying is that I still believe that you have to have a certain profile of intention in order to be somebody who is willing to, who can join the Grey Wardens. It's very gatekeepery. Which means that I would believe that there is something that I have to preserve as it relates to the Grey Wardenship. Because if I give her an opportunity to join the Grey Wardens, she does the joining and drops dead. She is of no use to anybody here. But if I say, no, I don't trust your intentions, you can't do it. I mean, I guess she is probably going to go after her regardless. But I'm then saying that only a certain type of approach to the Grey Wardens is okay. And if we want to grow our numbers and we want more volunteers in the Grey Wardens, I need people who are, I guess, in some ways able to consent to the fact that they could die when they do the joining. Oh, God. Now, if I could bring her in oh, man. I'm going to have to headcanon this that I told her, that I warned her. Who am I to deny her? I'm the Grey Warden commander. So literally, if there's anybody that can deny her, it's me. Like, the thing is like, you don't necessarily just to get to be a Grey Warden just because you want to, but that's part of the discussion here, right? Is what am I trying to do with the Grey Wardens? Am I trying to make the Grey Wardens approach the world in broader strokes? She's wanting to join the Grey Wardens, but she's wanting to join the Grey Wardens so that she can hunt the Darkspawn into the tunnels for a personal endeavor. Not because she wants to join an order of people who fight the Darkspawn during the Blight no matter what. Right? Like, she has made her intentions clear that the reason she wants it is so that she can smell them and go down into the tunnels. She didn't say, like, oh man, I want to join the Grey Wardens because if I join the Grey Wardens, then I can fight the Blight at every turn, and I pledge my service to thee for life, because that's essentially what Grey Wardenship is. She's basically like, let me be a Grey Warden for like 10 seconds so I can sniff this shit out. And so it's hard for me to just immediately say, like, okay, you want it, so you can have it. As opposed to saying, there's a lot more that goes into this. And I don't know that, like, this is a really slippery slope. Because otherwise, then I'm giving people Grey Wardenship out of convenience. Which I suppose to an extent is what Duncan was doing. He was preying on the vulnerable. And he was going and finding people in their worst moments. Like, this is conscription, but it's different because instead of me saying this is the worst moment of your life, let me bail you out of it and give you a Grey Wardenship so you can do your thing, she's basically like, I know that you can find it. I don't trust you. But she's suggesting that she doesn't trust me to find her sister, which means she doesn't play as a group. The Grey Wardens act as a group, right? Like, she's given me, to an extent, some level of process information to suggest that she's not necessarily in a space where she's willing to collaborate. Like, she's like, yo, give me that Darkspawn blood so I can go run down the tunnel. And as we always do in these moments, I try to work with as many known variables as I can. Known variable is that her sister, or whoever it is, I don't know what her relation is, but Solani, she wants to get Solani. She has heard something about the Grey Wardens, which is that they can sniff out Darkspawn. She doesn't understand the order itself. She's made it very clear that she is going to use this to go find her sister, that she has not indicated that she wants to join the Grey Wardens for any other reason. I, as the gatekeeper of the Grey Wardens, have to determine the extent to which we are mindful of who we bring into the order. Is being a Grey Warden something that I want to relax to a point where we just have Grey Warden mercenaries, basically, instead of a Grey Warden order? I'm not entirely against that. Like, I'm not entirely against the idea of having just Grey Wardens out in isolation doing shit. As opposed to, like, we all have to go chill in Ostagar and have a weenie roast. I'm not going to take into account the what ifs as it relates to what she will do when she gets her sister back, because one, we haven't gotten her sister back. Two, we don't know what she's going to respond, like how she's going to respond after she gets her sister back. So this is a very important juncture. The reason I'm taking so much time here is because there is a tendency for us to get caught up in a lot of what ifs here. And you don't want to operate off of too many what ifs. You don't want to operate off of, what if we get Solani back and then she bails? What if she this? What if she that? She runs the risk of dying. The other thing that I have to take into account here is the party. If she does the joining right now, she possibly dies, which means that we're down a mage. It means that we're down a mage, we're down a healer. It now means that me, Justice, and Nathaniel are in further danger. Which means that if she drops dead right here, we have one less person to be able to go get her sister. I keep saying sister. I don't know if it's her sister. We have one less person available to go get Solani. I need a mage. So I think what I would rather do is say to her, I will go for Solani. We will go get her. We will go finish this out. If you can trust me to go do that, trust that I will use my wardenship to go get her. And you come with me because we need a body. We're going to need all the people we can get. If you decide after we get Solani back that you would still like to be a Grey Warden, then you are welcome to drink from the cup and join the Grey Wardens. But I don't think she needs to be a Grey Warden in order for us to accomplish what we're doing. I'm a Grey Warden. Nathaniel's a Grey Warden. We have... Justice is a Grey Warden. We have 3 Grey Wardens right now that are able to sniff this out. And we need bodies to be able to fight the Darkspawn. So... you can't be so I'm inclined to say you're not going to be a Grey Warden right now, only because we can't afford to have you drop dead when we have 3 of us who can sniff them out. I'm going to need you to trust me. If you want to go run off without being a Grey Warden, be my guest. But for right now, I don't want to lose you. You are a valuable asset. You want to drink the Darkspawn blood when we get Solani back? because you believe in what we're doing and you want to have that power going forward to protect your people, I'll be more than happy to give you the blood at that point, and we'll do the joining. But this is not the place. We're not going to impulsively do the joining because you want to be able to run off and get your sister. We can accomplish that task without doing it. And again, if I say no and she bails, so be it. She could bail. I could say yes and she could bail. I could say no and she could bail. Either one of those is a possibility on the table. And so I'm the person that's in the position to have to make this decision here. I said yes to Nathaniel because when Nathaniel came back, he was in a position to be able to like fully consent to this, understand it, and said, and you know, had reasons for pledging that were personal, like she does. I pledge my service to you in exchange for the powers your order can grant. What say you? I need to be able to trust you better first, and we can get the mission done without doing it. You can become a Grey Warden at the end of this if we get her. So for right now, no.
So be it. I will not forget this Grey Warden. Pray we do not meet again.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Okay. See you later. All right, now, for those of you that are preparing to go just on a firestorm to my comments here on YouTube, just remember, I do the best I can with these decisions. I live with the consequences. Her decision to leave after I said no, not right now, is her decision. I'm not going to hold her here. I said not right now. No. Like... And if she says, fuck you, I don't want to have, right? Like, it's crazy to me that she would think that the only way that we can help find her sister is that she has to be a warden. So she's like, I'm gonna pledge my service to you. I mean, she put me in a bind there. But I also am not going to be strong-armed like that into just willy-nilly giving away Grey Wardenship for, I mean, you heard me talk through this. I stand by the decision to say no to her. I mean, it's really difficult when it's in the binary like that. But for her to bail on that, okay. I'm more than willing to help you go find your sister. That's not what this was about. Yeah, and then threatens me when she leaves. Yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna fuck you up now next time I see you, is basically what she said there. So, okay. Fine. That tells me that we didn't really have much camaraderie in the first place.
All right.
I gotta make hard decisions. That's what happens when you're the leader. Whoa, what happened? Whoa.
Unfortunate.
Is that Bronca? No. Oh, no.
No, it is lost to us now. There is no point in returning, Uther. Your former comrades are impressive. They will be difficult to convince. No, Uther. I will fulfill my promise to you. All is not lost yet. Come. We must prepare for battle.
Really? So that's it, huh?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, because I know that sometimes people are tempted to do this, I am not interested in knowing what would have happened if I had said yes to her. That's not what happened. We said no to her. So we live with that decision. I know it can be tempting to say that, but any comments to that effect will be removed. I don't care what would have happened if we said yes. We made the decision we made and she bailed. The run is the run. All right. Mervis,
You're
what's
back.
up, man?
Have you any news?
I've dealt with your problem. The killing should stop now. I'm not going to blame the elves, because if I blame the elves, it runs the risk of confirming any kind of misrepresentation he has about elves. So I'm just going to say I dealt with the problem. If he asks for more information, I'll give it to him.
Really? Oh, that's wonderful news. I promised a donation, didn't I? Here, take this. With the Merchants Guild's compliments.
Thank you. Oh, actually, keep it. Do something for the families of the slain.
You are very kind, Commander. I shall do as you ask. Maker, smile on you always.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't need the money. Okay.
So good to see you again. It seems I owe you a reward, yes? Yes, of course.
Thank you for your 13 gold. Hell yeah, man. Okay. So just to address something really quick about, so the Grey Wardens aren't ethical. They were created out of desperation. Thedosians are terrified of blood magic. They need to be secret because the peasants would put them at stake. Because the peasants would put them to the stake. The joining is blood magic. Yeah, that's all the more reason why we need to be clear about what's going on. You can change representation of things if you do the work to educate the masses. It has become very clear that the Grey Wardens are necessary. Grey Wardenship in the joining shows that there is nuance to the conversation about blood magic. That blood magic is not this super myopic, always dangerous, always terrible, bad, horrible, terrible, no good thing. That blood magic can, in certain instances, be used to create situations where we can actually have more of a chance at survival. The reason the Grey Wardens continuing to perpetuate that they keep the joining secret because it's blood magic, what that does is it perpetuates the idea that blood magic is always bad 100% of the time and is something that you have to be terrified of. So if people found out that the Grey Wardens are doing blood magic, which they would potentially find out if you start recruiting more people who are willing to talk about it to the masses, now all of a sudden you have people going, they use blood magic, and there's no nuance to it. They are stuck in that myopic view of it. So what you need to do as Queen Honora, as the Grey Wardens, as Grey Wardens who have representation that cuts across all of Ferelden, is you educate people about what it is to be a Grey Warden. You own it up front. You go, hey, we're going to say something. It's going to freak you out, but we want to let you know that this is something that there is nuance to. We're currently working to try to help people understand this better. When you join the Grey Wardens, if that's something that you're interested in doing, you have to drink the vial of Darkspawn blood. Here's why. Explain everything. Part of that ritual includes blood magic, which of course is terrifying. At the same time, you remember when there was an archdemon that was up on top of the castle in Denerim a couple months ago, and King Alistair slayed that archdemon, and now the Darkspawn are no longer bothering us? That happened thanks to a blood magic ritual. So as a society, we're going to work our asses off here to continue to figure out how to navigate magic, and that includes blood magic. And how do we use blood magic responsibly rather than irresponsibly? We can still hold people accountable for using blood magic in an improper way, but we also can... Let's look at some nuance here. If you ask people about marijuana in the 80s and 90s, you'd have thought that it was like the demon drug. You ask people about marijuana now, they're like, oh yeah, actually there's some pretty good uses for it, right? Blood magic and the joining is kind of the same thing. So what this means is that we need widespread systemic change, which is hard. This is why people do things like hide the joining, because they would much rather just operate within a system that has gone on for centuries than actually challenge the system itself. A system that actively harms people. We got moved into the Grey Wardens as an act of conscription in a position where I had almost no choice of whether I wanted to join or not. It was either go to jail and be absolutely demolished, or Duncan happens to pluck me out of that situation to take me to the Grey Wardens and conscript me at that point. That's a shitty system. This is a system that it's very obvious, because blights are real, because the Dragonspawn are real, or because the Darkspawn are real, we need to have them. We need to have a means in order to kill the Archdemon. That is a known quantity here in this society, but we need to build a better system around this. Just because the Chantries controlled the narrative for centuries doesn't mean that they have to continue to control the narrative. Just because the Grey Wardens have been secretive for millennia doesn't mean they have to continue to do it. The whole reason that we want progression as a society is so that we can do better rather than clutch onto the stuff that has like worked but also has caused a lot of problems over time. Just as much as you can make the argument that we've killed off 5 different blights over the years, we could also say there have been 5 blights. Maybe there's a way that we could prevent this shit instead of just continuing to do the same thing where we react every time they come up out of the ground in mass. The Darkspawn are evolving. There's Darkspawn that talk now. So we have to move the ship forward, and when you're in a position of power, it's so much better to work to do that hard growing pain stuff in the act of progression, in the act of evolving alongside the environment that you're in, rather than just sort of taking the easy route and saying this is the way that it's always been and we're going to stick to that. My whole thing about being the Grey Warden commander and having Honora as the queen is that it is our directive to actually move this shit forward and do better. And if I'm going to be the Grey Warden commander, then I have the opportunity to do that. And that means that I'm not going to conscript people on the fly. It means that people are going to have to consent to what it is that they're getting involved with. That it's going to be known what we're doing here. Because the way we're doing it is not great. I've been very critical of the Grey Wardens all the way through. Does it work the way that they've been doing it? Sure. Does that necessarily make it right? Not necessarily. So it's a decent opportunity for us to have that conversation, because I'm keeping that in mind as the person who's in a position of leadership. We don't want leaders who just react on the easiest path. We don't want leaders who can be bought into a certain path. We want leaders who can critically think about what it is that they're doing and think, what is the actual way that we move this forward in a way that's going to protect the overwhelming majority of people? And to me, with the Grey Wardens, it means having more information, more education, better means of consent to people being conscripted. The reality is you're going to have a 50-50 shot of dying if you drink out of that vial. I want people to know what they're getting into when they make that decision. We can still be choosy, but I don't want to go plucking around people having their worst day of their life. I don't want an order of people that are built on the same bullshit that I got roped into this on. Again, just my perspective. I don't claim to be right. That's just where I come from. But I can just feel it. I can feel the people readying their keys. So feel free to respond to that though if you like. I love reading people's reactions to this stuff. So the Chanter has promised to pay for a sample on behalf of the Templars. I'm guessing I have to go to the Chantry in order to do that. We need nuance. We need gray areas.
Justice? I did not wish to possess this body. Why would I switch to another?
You might need to.
Unless you wish to look even more obviously like a corpse.
I would prefer not to think of it.
I agree with that. That it is so it's incredible that the Grey Wardens have been anything effective at all, having been built on such a desperate population of recruits. I agree. I agree with that completely.
Give shelter to the weary and lift up the weak. In time, the Maker will see and smile upon your deeds.
Thanks. All right, Wendingwood. His wife Nita in the city of Amaranthine. I don't remember where she is. All right, Maker's Chode doesn't have it. Go somewhere else. All right, let's go. So the Chantry being that powerful, in my opinion, is all the more reason why it needs to be held accountable. No one group like that should have that much power to influence everything like that. To me, that inherently, like, that's one of the problems with bringing religion into politics, right? So if the Chantry has that much drive, has infiltrated every aspect of decision-making and levels of power, it's all the more reason they need to be challenged and have this shit changed up. One of the ways that you actually can undercut the Chantry is through education and through more accurate representation. I don't like the idea that we say the Chantry is just super big, so I guess we got to give up. Not when I'm in a position to be able to make that change.
Bran, I don't know this person.
Is there something you want? My companion is not comfortable around strangers.
Oh boy. I'm the Warden Commander, Mick.
I see. This must be about Keenan then. Sweetheart, could you give us a moment alone?
Okay.
Is Keenan dead?
He is. He died making the world better for all of us.
He said that, did he? His wedding ring. Thank you for bringing this back to me. Keenan always said he joined the Wardens to give me a better life. Was it really better for me to be alone in a strange country, wondering if we'd ever have a family?
Good question. Can totally understand why you're having an affair. My condolences. I will leave this to you. It's a great. I mean, these are great questions. I totally can understand where she's coming from. If she needs some level of emotional closeness, she needs somebody available to her, and this dude's bringing it to her. This is how affairs happen. Affairs, they suck, right? But there is nuance to affairs. One of the most important things to remember about affairs is that they provide a window into a person's needs that are not being fulfilled by their current relationship. Should she communicate more effectively about those needs to him? Sure, maybe she did. Right? But he went off and joined the Grey Wardens. He's not around. He's not available. She needs companionship. She wants to know whether he's ever going to come home. She matters too. So she finds a guy who's available, who fills in all the gaps that Keenan couldn't fill in for her. No pun intended. And here we are, right? So she starts to have an affair. It's understandable. Does it make it right? Not necessarily. Right? Like, there are rules in relationships that people create and they jointly develop those, but we don't know the nature of the relationship to know just how bad this affair would be. I'm not necessarily Team Keenan here. Affairs have a lot more nuance to them. I'm not saying I'm pro-affair, but they have more nuance to them than just cheating bad. They do provide a lot of information about the state of a relationship and some of the needs that aren't being met in that relationship. And as a reminder, one of the best ways that you can prevent an affair is to say that you are thinking about having one. I know that sounds really counterintuitive, but if you freak out on somebody because they say they've been thinking about having an affair, you're missing the point. If a person tells you that they've been thinking about having an affair, the conversation that's going to come behind that is why. And the conversation behind it is super important because it means that instead of going and having the affair, the person trusted you to maybe be able to problem solve with them how those needs could be met by you instead of by an extradiatic relationship. So if you shut down that conversation, you're doing it wrong. Number one preventer of affairs is talking about affairs before they happen. So my condolences. I'm out of here. I'm not going to get involved in this.
Thank you. Andraste's grace be with you.
I don't know anything about their relationship to make that judgment. The only judgments I would be able to make that from are my own personal lived experiences, and that's not fair to her. Vigils keep... Wow! Look at all this. You freed Eileen Bensley, who's now headed home. Her father may write to you again at Vigils Keep. You've killed some Darkspawn in the basement, but rubble blocks further progress. Well, let's go back to Vigils Keep, I guess. We knocked a lot of stuff out today. Oh yeah, I got some shit to sell. Why don't I go do that real quick? Just dump these jewels that I have. There we go. Get these gold stocks back up. 206, back up to 206. Not bad. High roller, baby. Okay, so Knotwood Cove is where we need to go. So, all right, let's go to Vigils Keep. What's up, Red? Hey, thanks for being here, YouTube and Twitch. Appreciate you hanging out with me. It's really lovely to have you aboard for this stream, and I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. What's going on here?
Christoph. Oh, thank the Maker.
I fear you are mistaken, mortal.
Christoph? Why are you... What has happened?
Ooh, what a terrible experience this would be. Oh my god. Oh my god. How do you even begin to explain this? Holy lordy lordy. Okay. Oh god, this would be the chances that this is going to create some form of trauma for her, I think, are pretty high. Because wow, what a profound experience. You see the body of him, but it not only is it his body though, it's like a zombified body. So you're basically having to see his dead body, which means that your current experience of him is going to fit the schema of the deceased. So now you're having an experience that directly violates that because you're like, wow, this is a reanimated corpse of him. That's not great. And then you hear him say, yeah, I'm not actually Christoph anymore. Which now creates the existential problem of who are you really? Are you the body you occupy? Are you the mannerisms that the brain produces via the vessel that it's within? Are you the soul? Are you the combination of all of them? What actually are you? This woman, by turning around from that, she's going to wish that she kept looking at the well, because she is now in a profound jam of basically every expectation she ever had of anything related to this dude is blown apart immediately. Now, is there a lost sense of safety and security here to go along with it? Not necessarily, although there could be some level of emotional distress that's coming along with this. But imagine having to explain to this woman, okay, so here's the thing. This is Kristoff's body. But there's this soul, and we don't even know if she's going to believe that that's real. There's this spirit soul thingy. His name's Justice. Met him in the Fade, which you may or may not know is real. And when he came back to the Fade, long story, we had to kill this, like, demon and all this stuff. And then when we came back, he possessed this body. But he didn't do it voluntarily, just so you know. He's not standing in this body because he wanted to. He got just moved into that body. So here he is. Ain't him. It ain't the guy that used to be in that body, but it's the body. That is a profoundly difficult thing for a person to work through. The closest analog to this in real life that I could think of, to have more of a serious tone here for a second. The closest analog that I can think of to this in real life is when people have to deal with parents who have severe dementia or Alzheimer's. Because you see your loved one's body. They are physically there. The vessel is there, but the mind leaves progressively, sometimes more drastically than others. And it creates this very question for the caretakers of folks who have Alzheimer's, because at what point does that person no longer your mother or your father or your guardian or whomever it is that you are taking care of, right? Like, the vessel's there, but the mind is not, and she's going to have the same kind of experience here. There's a grief process that goes along with that, but the grief process is all the more complicated because of the fact that the vessel is there. You're in proximity to it. You see it. Your brain very much wants to believe that you're going to have an experience that aligns with the expectation of that body. And changing that expectation in relation to your experience that you're having is immensely difficult to do. That's accommodation, which we've talked about throughout these playthroughs. So this is just monumentally distressing for this woman, would be my guess, if this was real life. I don't know how she's going to handle it here, but my goodness, what a complicated moment. That could be a case next. I wouldn't say you're necessarily way off, but that's a bit more complicated than I'm going to go into at this point. Man. All right, so Kristoff was killed by the Darkspawn. That's not going to compute here. Perhaps you should calm down. Are you kidding me? You were Kristoff's wife? That's presumptive of me. I'm going to keep with facts. Telling her to calm down is an outrageous response here. Kristoff was killed by the Darkspawn.
Killed? But he's standing right here.
Your husband is gone, and I inhabit this body now. His death will be avenged, I assure you.
Avenged? You've desecrated his body, how dare you?
It was not intentional. There was...
Get away from me!
All right, Justice.
This body has memories of this woman. Aura is her name. I did not know she would come.
Neither did Kristoff most of the time. Okay. Jesus. So I would look at okay, get it together, Ryan. I thought I could deadpan that. It is Kristoff's fault. It is Kristoff's fault. But we're in Kristoff's body, and Kristoff perhaps... Okay, it's a whole other thing. Okay. This isn't Justice's fault, so I'm gonna look at Justice and be like, "Hey, dude, don't personalize this." She gets to be frustrated by this. She gets to be angry or confused or whatever it is that she's experiencing, afraid. She gets to make meaning out of this, however she's going to make meaning out of it. You and I know that you didn't do this on purpose. You and I know that this was not intentional. She's going to be distressed. Maybe I have an opportunity to go talk to her, try to give her some idea of what went on. Her reaction there is perfectly legitimate. I'm not gonna blame her for that. It would be distressing, I think, in some ways for Justice too, because he's got these memories of her, and yikes. I mean, this is just it's an impossible situation. I don't think there's really any way that this situation goes well, simply because there's a lack of like education that this is a thing that could even happen. Imagine that the next friend that you go see in real life shows up at wherever you're like gonna go to B-dubs and like have a beer, and your friend shows up with somebody else, looks like a corpse, and the person that you've never met that's with your friend says, oh yeah, he was hit by a bus on the way here, and then he got inhabited by a spirit. He got inhabited by the spirit of athleticism. And then the body, your friend says to you, I didn't mean to. I didn't. Think of what that's the experience this woman just had. That's the experience this woman just had. You're chilling at B-dubs with a beer, and you're like, what the hell is going on? What do you mean my friend got hit by a bus and got possessed by a spirit and is now standing here with a person whom I don't know? That is literally the experience. There's no possible way, not a single person watching this video right now takes that in stride. Not a single person takes that in stride. You are not prepared for that. The only preparation you have for that moment, if you ever are in that moment, in the year 2030, you're sitting in a B-dubs about to meet your friend, and they come in and you got hit by a bus or whatever. The only thing that you're going to be able to draw upon in that moment is, oh my God, DrMick made a hypothetical about this back in 2022 when he made this video. That can actually happen. Like, I've done you a favor. If that ever happens to you, you've had a little seed of representation planted that's possible. You're welcome. Poor woman, it must be a shock to learn like this.
I must rectify this somehow. Intentionally or not, I have done this woman a great disservice.
Okay, maybe respect her boundaries in her space. She is terrified of the fact that she just had to look at her corpsed husband who's been possessed by a spirit. You going into her home after she ran away and basically said, screw you, is not the way to go. She set a boundary there. Don't white knight this, my man. Kristoff's life is not yours. You have to respect her boundaries here, dude. Let it go. You gotta let it go.
I cannot. My memories suggest
yes, you
her
can.
home is in Amaranthin. It will prey on me if we do not seek her out. There must be something that could be done to assuage her pain. Something.
This isn't about her pain. Oh boy, do we have a good conversation to have here. This isn't about her pain, but people do this all the time. This is about the anxiety that he is experiencing. It's not his fault, but he's caught up in it in the same way that she is. But he wants to go to assuage her pain, not so that he can assuage her pain, so he can assuage his own anxiety about the fact that he caused her pain. So he is needing her to feel better so that he can feel better. When the reality is, this is not his life to live. He is a separate being. She set a boundary. You absolutely can leave her alone. And you will leave her alone. And you will sit with the intense emotional experience that you're going to have as a result of that. And you, my friend Justice, are going to create a new set of frames in your mind that is going to allow you to occupy that boundaried space effectively, because you don't get to go blow past those boundaries just because you're anxious about the experience that you cultivated for her. She set a boundary. If she was interested in having a conversation with you, she could come right back out and she could have that with you, and she's decided that that's not something she's going to do. This has nothing to do with whether you can or cannot sit with this. It has everything to do with whether you choose to, and you're going to choose to. Because him chasing after her and doing this is a selfish act, as altruistic as he may frame it to be. Do not rely on other people's well-being to resolve your own anxiety about to resolve your own well-being. If people set boundaries with you, you respect them. And you figure out and respond to them accordingly, and you figure out what you need to do to cope with it and to manage it. You don't get to blow past people's boundaries just because you're anxious about what founded the boundary itself in the first place. Justice. But this makes sense from his characterization, right? He is the spirit of justice. He likely believes that he has done wrong to her, so he must make it right. We also have to take that into account, right? Like, he lives in that binary. His entire personality construct is built around the idea that you have to make good on wrongs. So he sees that he has wronged this woman. He reads the feedback on that, and he believes he has to atone for it. This is going to rip his justice insides apart. Because we're going to sit here and go, you know what, dude? Justice in this case is you leaving her the hell alone. It's not you going after her. This is not something that you have to overcompensate for. If you're going to occupy a human body and live in the human world, you're going to live by the human rules, my man. It's not a good idea.
You would, of course, know best. The Darkspawn call our attention. But should we get the chance to seek her out, I would be grateful.
Ain't gonna do it. She has the opportunity to seek you out. She can. Kristoff's wife, Aura, arrived in Vigil's Keep. Upon realizing what had become of her husband, she accused Justice of desecrating Kristoff's body. This distressed Justice, who insisted on finding a way to ease Aura's pain. She's gonna have to grieve. Grief is what she's gonna have to go through, and it's gonna be painful. It's not gonna be particularly fun. All right. Heron.
You're back. You need anything?
I found ore deposits.
Oh, this will help a great deal. Wade, the commander found a silverite deposit.
Armor and weapons could be made with this. I'll just get to it then. No one appreciates. Psst. Psst. Warden.
Oh, dear maker, what is it, Wade?
Haren is content to let me craft away in obscurity under dreadful conditions. Never a care for the art of crafting.
Boo.
But you're not so dreadfully common.
I certainly appreciate fine weapons and armor, my dear Wade.
Exactly. I want to make wondrous things, things a dwarf and craftsman would appreciate. If you come across any fantastical materials, could you perhaps visit old Wade?
Wade, what are you about?
Oh, nothing, nothing. Remember, fantastical materials.
Oh, I've got him. Is Justice just constantly disapproving of this?
Yes, Commander?
I found this ancient bark in the heart of a living tree.
Let me see, let me see. Oh, amazing. This might be heartwood.
Can you make anything of it, Wade? I'm sure you most certainly could.
If I were allowed to experiment with this, I might be able to make a bow. Or a shield, yes. I can't do that right now, you understand. Here's a list of materials I need. They may be a trifle hard to come by, but you must get them.
I will. Those blasted elves didn't write anything down. The Dalish are positively unfriendly. I could use some oil to make wood more malleable, some catgut to string the bow, or to make a handle for the shield, and flawless ruby, always handy as certainly pretty. Oh, and I know a Grandmaster Lightning Rune. You got it, Wade.
Yes, Commander?
You make anything with this ancient dragon bone?
Where did you find this? I could make a blade unparalleled. Oh my, oh my. Where's that list? Quick, gather these things. Hurry, there's history to make here.
What a lovely specimen, but dragon bone is so very hard. I need diamond. Yes, that will do. And a balm of great strength to keep the sword from burning my hands. Liquid from a fresh dragon's egg will also come in handy, I should think. Shouldn't be a problem for you. Oh, and a flame rune. Grandmaster Caliber, do hurry. All right, Wade. That's a lot of stuff, man. It's going to be tough. What's up, Dwarven?
You arranged for quite the welcome for us, didn't you, Commander? Not that I mind. Gave me a chance to do some proper testing.
God, I love his voice. Testing of what?
Explosives. The name is Dworkin Glavenok. Some call me Dworkin the Mad. That don't ruffle my beard, though. You have to be a little mad in my line of research.
Did you invent these explosives?
I developed these particular formulations, but it's the Kunari who perfected the art. That just gets in my craw. Sullen, ashen-skinned giants shouldn't be allowed to outsmart dwarves. So, I've been conducting experiments on lyrium sand and other volatile ingredients.
Sounds pretty dangerous, man.
Aye, and that it is. Lost a cousin to it, and some apprentices. But a stable formula would put a mess of hurt on the Darkspawn. Let us retake some of our lost tags.
Anything I can do to help?
If you got a mind to, aye. We used up all the explosives on those Darkspawn. I can make more, but I'm out of lyrium sand. Lyrium dust is all over the place, but that's too fine. Dust's good for fuses, but not the boom I'm looking for. With real lyrium sand, I can set the lads to work.
Guess what? I got some.
Wonderful. We can start making more explosives.
Warden, before you let my brother blow himself to little bitsies, tell him to be careful.
Don't listen to Voldrick. I know what I'm about.
And how many apprentices have you lost? 3? No, 4?
We'll know the risks. If we succeed, our names will go down in history.
He's not entirely wrong, dude. You're no use to anybody dead, so...
Fine. We'll be safe. Happy now, Voldrick? Thanks for your help. Please, take these. Use them to give those beasties a what for.
Dworkin's safe explosives. Cool. Thank you. Okay.
This thing you spoke of, switching bodies.
Not a favorite topic of yours, I take it.
Would such a thing be permitted? Would it not be considered abominable?
If they're dead, it's not as if they need the body, Justice.
But I can still feel the man who once lived. I know his life, It is not just a body.
That's good, isn't it? I'd rather you felt that way.
Perhaps you are right.
Man, that would be really trippy to occupy somebody's body and then like have their memories. It would make sense though.
Warden, I did warn you about the stone in these parts. Human masons will use whatever's at hand, but for proper walls, you need proper stone.
Obviously. Go on.
The nearest quarry has some miserable slate nonsense. I need proper granite. The darker the better. I don't suppose, you know, in your travels...
I've got some. Winding Woods got it.
Splendid. But I can't risk my men to Darkspawn attacks. You'll have to send soldiers to secure the site.
I cleared it out, so how important is this?
You can't neglect your stronghold. If the vigil falls, where would that leave your lands? Merchants and farmers aren't much against an army of Darkspawn.
It's true. We're already short on soldiers. You can't have any. Fine, you'll have your guards. Oh, man. I have the soldiers out in the fields, man. Like, I understand that you need to have a stronghold, but I also need to make sure that the people are protected. Because I'm going to have to probably move troops from the fields, where the food supply is, because that's where I originally sent troops. We're short on soldiers, man. I can't spare them right now.
I suppose it was too much to hope for. I'll muddle through then.
Thanks, man.
Commander, the men cleared the rubble. You'll have to see what they found for yourself.
Tell them to wait a moment.
I'll do that, Commander.
All right, cool. Well, hey, I think part 7 is when we'll go down to that tunnel, huh? YouTube, thank you so much for taking time out of your day or night to watch these VODs. Thanks for making it all the way through part 6. I hope you enjoyed the episode, albeit a little bit of a shorter one. It was a lot of fun to do this. I'm looking forward to what we have next. We're making good progress. Leave a like on the way out. Leave a comment down below. Check out all the links in the description. Those of you that are members, by hitting the join button, thanks for your financial support. If you stream my music on Apple Music, Spotify, or any other streaming service as well, thanks for doing that. And if you've ever purchased any merch at DrMick.merch, thanks for that. I'm grateful for it. come check us out on Twitch sometime. We'd love to have you hang out with us. But for now, if you're binging, I'll see you over on the next one. If you are waiting for the next one to come out, we'll get it out as soon as we can. Appreciate you. Catch you on the next one.